Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rodology. Today's video is the final stride until Battlefield Season 2. Alright, so we know that the first season wasn't the best season in the world. It was, okay, it was mid. It wasn't something to grasp everybody to keep playing the game at about 80,000+ concurrent players, because by the time it is recording, depending on where you're at, it's probably 35 through 45,000 concurrent players right now on Steam. Right, it's probably more on, the consoles and whatnot, but on Steam is getting there. So, what was the mistakes in this game anyway? What was the mistakes that DICE made? All right, so first and foremost, the most important mistakes that was basically in the game and what they did was just rug pulling 3 times about very important things that's needed in the game. Netcode, the audio footsteps, spotting, the horizontal recoil that y'all completely said that it was an actual bug. Y'all are fixing it, and movement. Many more things that ruin the game and makes it unplayable. Like with the movement, people were saying that the movement doesn't need to be fast and you don't need solo play in the game, but by every single game you literally need to can't do anything. You get pushed back. It's either one game is like a complete trash fest, the other team gets terrorized and they're done with, or it's on your POV, right? It's no balance. And what they did, added the little balance tweak that more games was able to be balanced or whatnot. It still didn't work because the game doesn't work and flow how it's supposed to flow. The portal tick rate that was supposed to be 60 is still 30. So it's just, different things that they rug pulled and they shouldn't have rug pulled, and it's basically saying the communication that we had, it wasn't necessarily real, and it was just false communication, because again, it provides no trust for for the people who's actually advocating for the community and whatnot. And yes, we're not in a perfect world. The games, FPS games, is downhill, and it's been like that for about a decade now. So it's just how it's supposed to be, and it depends on if DICE wants to actually get their money back on the most expensive Battlefield for 200 mil. We can't forget that money that they put into this game, because it obviously was a big, feat that they did. So it's just dependent on them. So another thing is the community, right? And I'm not specifically talking about the people who's actually giving good feedback, good criticism, even combating, my ideas or other people's ideas and such and such like that, because obviously, even though the game is supposed to, work for everybody, it can't really work for everybody, if you get what I mean, in opinionated situation. But there are things where, websites like Reddit and other sources of information that just provides brain dead information on how to fix the game when it literally hasn't been in any other Battlefield, right? So what do I mean by that? I mean, Battlefield, past Battlefields are Battlefields that can literally make this game better. We're trying to do something new when we do not need to do anything new, because we literally have everything at our disposal. And let's say Battlefield 5, Battlefield 1, 3, 4, and 4 is a game that 4 and 3 is the games that we're trying to copy. We're trying to get after, because developers from DICE literally said that Battlefield 4 was the best Battlefield in comparison to getting everybody on board. 3 started the movement. So it's we're trying to do something new because of the modern gaming scene that's everybody doing something new. But since that happened, nobody was able to create something new. And hopefully somebody do in the FPS scene create a new game that's able to do something very well. But that just comes with the people in mind who wants to actually play something like that, right? It's not necessarily, the developer's fault, but it is something that pay attention to. But the game, the community, the people in the community who's advocating for slower moves, slower this and that, slower whatever, right? Laser beam. Probably seen somebody who said laser beam gunplay should be in the game. All this and that. But we don't necessarily look at past Battlefields and see oh, we have the slowest movement in the game. There's a reason why we can't push in a point and we're always stagnant on 1 point or 2 points. And it's not like, you know, a Battlefield, like one caps, another cap automatically. Just like some, like, yeah, the game's random, but how about some more randomness to making the game like flowable, right? Instead of just like a stagnant, some type of, you know, gameplay. You know, people don't have enough like patience for that, especially in the modern gaming scene. Like, yeah, the movement does not need to be like outrageously fast like Splitgate or, you know, other games like that, but back to like 6.5, I guess, what was with what Battlefield was, it can make the game feel better in a way, in my opinion. That's just what I see and feel from how a game plays like this in comparison to what I'm comparing Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4, because that's what the game is trying to implement. And that's literally my common sense on making the game better. And you know, some people in the community, even outside the community, COD, everything, it's not necessarily a good look of trying to take bits and pieces and try to make it into a different game when it cannot do that. DICE doesn't know how to do anything like that. You got to stick to Battlefield 6 and Battlefield in the franchise. Just copy things from Battlefield 5, 1, 3, 4, whatever. You can copy the visuals from Battlefield 1, copy the gameplay 4, copy the movement 5. That's literally what we was advocating for, and then it just got ruined because people was, you know, getting heard when they do not even play the game in actuality. So my final say is this is the last chance for Battlefield 6. This is the last season to actually see like if they actually listen and if they're actually going to break the modern gaming code. You know, I'm not in the top elite classes of, you know, putting money in games that's going to fail and losing my money. I am in a gaming class of actually advocating for something to win and something to break, you know, like a little part of history, right? You know, obviously there's going to be some dumb people up there and dumb people down here. You know, we're actually getting there. We just need to actually break something and see if this season is going to be something that can work and something that can actually keep people playing. A lot of people was quitting. A lot of people said that it wasn't getting heard in the community and giving out false communication. People actually wants this game to succeed, but it's like hurting. It's hurting because we obviously was saying all of this stuff, and it's just like, for what, when we're not going to have our words actually actionated or action oriented, right? Like, yeah, we're being heard, but we got to put that action in there. And then we're like, oh, okay, the community's actually going how it's supposed to go and whatnot. It was working the first time, but then once those 3 important patch notes came, then it all fell downhill. So it's just like, it's all up to DICE. The community can obviously have our opinions, you know, in different ways and forms. But at the end of the day, we're trying to manifest Battlefield 3 and 4. We need to look back at 3 and 4, not Battlefield 1. The only thing about Battlefield 1 again is visual. Battlefield 5, yes, because of the movement, and that's literally what the movement was in the beta. And excuse me, no other Battlefield needs to be copied. Battlefield 2, we don't know that Battlefield. Bad Company, we can get that. Already stated that Bad Company 3 isn't coming in Battlefield anymore. So it's just whatever they can do. The season 2 drops on February 17th, and just know that this is their last chance. Hope you like, share, and subscribe. I'm Worldology on YouTube, Twitch Kick on YouTube. You know that all 3 platforms, purple, green, you know, red, all of them at Worldology. And yeah, just know that this is it. No. I also think there should be an increase in the build time, like 5 years. Not too fast, but like kill off. Possibly take 5 years to make such a big impact. Or like if y'all include extras. So I don't know, but that takes good. Why am I the only person up here? Again, why? His face. Gosh, bro. There's nobody looking at me over there, and then he magically want to look over here. This is and bro, swipe somebody else.